I got hit by a total of 2 missiles. They launched 3 at me. I'm pretty sure they launched 3, possibly even more than that. There's 3 rounds in every salvo. So there's 3 missiles on every pack of a salvo of missiles for the Animus missile launcher. So when you buy it at the kiosk, you get 3 missiles and you load it as such. So there might have been a total of 6 shot at me. I would say 2 definitely hit. 2 definitely hit, but they tickled. And because they tickled and I didn't see like extreme amounts of damage on my Cuddy, I was just like, hey, I'm not going to treat it like a serious situation. And that's kind of why I didn't react and light them up, because I was so tempted on lighting them up just to say this is after the attack. Should I show the attack? Maybe I should show the attack. What's going on, Dark Peak? Welcome to the fam, dude. Maybe I'll show the attack. Hold on a second. Let's go to the attack portion. This was fantastic here where I'm flying at night and we get to see the 890 jump. Let's just watch a little bit of that. Me coming down on MicroTech, looking at the ship. This was fantastic for me. When I saw this, I had I was sucked in. When the sun was going down on MicroTech, I was already like, wow, the feels. I'm flying right now. There's clouds. There's a little bit of snow. There's sunset. I'm really feeling it, man. I was really feeling it. And thanks for that sub, by the way, Dark Peak. Thank you, dude. Thank you. And at that particular point, it started getting really dark. And this is where we're at right here. And let's go to the screen right now where I start to notice. I'm going play by play so you guys get my idea on what was happening when I was flying my Cuddy. But I see this little blip of light down below, and how high up was I? I was about 6,000 meters up. See this little blop of light, which is little at the time, but watch what happens when you get closer. Oh, hey, Dark. Awesome, dude. Awesome. Jump. Where's an 890 jump? Are they size? What are they, Goku? What are the size? I'm not sure what the size are on the Animus missiles, but that's a good point. Goku brings up a good point. I don't know, man, if they're like little rockets or full-fledged missiles. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the size on the Animus missile, but somebody can check that because Goku brings up a good point. I thought they were larger than that. That's just my initial thought on it, but I'm not quite sure. But good point. You'll get it, Fox. You'll get it. So coming down here. Oh, you meant my shield size. Gotcha. See, this was fun for me. Seeing this and this crew down here exploring on MicroTech. A lot of fun. Aha. We have a nice little crew out here exploring. Yeah, but Goku, I'm actually questioning the size of the missiles from the Animus missile launcher. That's what I'm wondering, is like what size we're dealing with the missile size on the Animus ones. Boring, and there's some wind, there's some weather, which is cool. There's the jump. I love this part. This is great. Below. When I got to see the lights from the 890 and how much it lit up. Freaking amazing how much light was thrown off by this 890 jump, and to me, very realistic, as the 890 is huge. So it was great to see it just light up like half an acre to an acre worth of the mountainside here. And that's why I was treating it as such. I was just like, wow. I was just like looking at this, and I noticed that I had a radar lock on me. So when I locked this 890. Pretty shortly after, they locked me as well. Or I'm wondering if it was a ship, or I feel like it was the Animus. I feel like it was a ground unit or an explorer nearby that got a lock on me from the missile launcher. And I wonder if that's how it's operating, because I feel like if it were a missile from the 890, it would have done a hell of a lot more damage. Little weather here. We got some trees. As you can see, it lights up the forest rather nicely. We gotta raise up here a little bit. I think I saw a rover in the distance there. Let's go check that out. So at this point, you can see straight ahead, there is a rover lit up. And at this point, I was more interested in I believe, or I thought that there was some units by the 890. And then I felt like, okay, there's the expedition out there. And that's definitely coming from the 890. So that's where I was headed. This is great. It's the wonderful part about Star Citizen. You can actually see people exploring down here. Yeah, old man, you're right. You can see that wind just blowing through the trees. And then Donnie says, so the Animus missile launcher does lock from extremely far away, but the lock-on isn't clean at all, meaning if there's environmental obstruction, the missile won't hit. As a result, the Animus missile launcher lock-on ability, hold on one second, I just lost lock-on ability isn't quite clean yet, which makes sense because what you'll see in this video is I believe the missile's hitting the trees. So that's interesting. So that almost confirms that my belief was correct, that it was in fact an Animus missile launcher, because you'll see some rockets hit the tree line, hit the actual trees below. So I'm focused on some good cam angles right now for you guys. Yeah. Got some snow coming in now. Got some so boom. Whoa. So you notice the light right there, right? So that was an explosion, and that didn't hit me. So I think what ended up happening right there is that I got locked. Somebody shot one of the Animus missiles at me, and then it hit either a tree by me or below me. What was that? Now I'm like, wait a second, what's going on? This is great. You can really see the lights from the 890 light up the surrounding area. Oh, okay, that felt like it hit. So at that point, I realized, wait a second, I just got hit. Now you'll see me. Now I'm like, wait a second. Now I switch over inside to the cockpit to see exactly what the damage hit was. Now you'll notice that it did chunk away a pretty good portion of the port starboard and aft sides, but I got a little bit left. And Donnie's saying, okay, that looked like an Animus missile. Ship missiles have more of a series VFX effect. Yeah. So now I'm like, I'm not too concerned. I mean, like, I'm concerned, right? I got a little shield left. Didn't really affect anything of the hull. And I'm like, So I think at this point, I like, all right, tickle it a little bit more than I want. And I think I start to speed away. And then you saw that blue spark back there as well, which might have been, I'm not quite sure what that blue spark was. There was a blue spark there if you guys missed it back in the distance. But this is interesting. Somebody shot an Animus. So I instantly think it's an Animus missile just based upon kind of what we're thinking here as well. And I start to speed off. Missile up at us, I believe. So I'm getting out of the area. Oh shit. Now you see the lock. Now you start to see the radar and the missile lock. So now I know I've got another missile on the way, which, you know, if you would have seen like a minute ago where I was calling out those sparks, maybe something along the lines of the effect of launching from the Animus is what that was. Not quite sure what that graphic was, but now I know I got a missile on me. Now I got two. We got more missiles in the air. Shields have recovered very fast, by the way. So the shields are back up. I know what one can do. Now I see two, and I'm thinking, okay, time for a little evasive maneuvers here. So one blows up on the tree line behind me. You guys saw that. So that makes sense. So one then blows up behind, and then the second one, the second one hits me right there on the aft port side. The main thruster on the aft port side. Uh-oh, we got hit with another missile. guys see another explosion at the tree line down there to the right of the screen. You can see one there as well. So they're firing off at me. And I cut some of this out because I wanted it to be very entertaining, but I was kind of effing around with them a little bit. I was like poking around, like making them waste some ammo. I was having a good time with this. I didn't really mention that in the video, but I was having a very good time with this. So I'm like, okay, this party's hostile. This is definitely a hostile party, but I didn't go after them because I was in journalistic kind of mode and they weren't really hurting me that bad. Oh, man. Now you see that one missile that hit did the same amount of damage to the aft, port, and front of the ship. So you see where that hit and the explosion then taking that portion off pretty accurately as far as what the concussion of that missile would do. So that's very cool that it did what it did when it hit. So I like that, but I was still kind of laughing about it because I still felt like it was tickling me, you know. What's going on? That's my tickle laugh. That's my tickle laugh. Out here, we're being fired on, so. And then I was so tempted to light this rover up on the way back. Like I knew it was this, like I'm looking down below and I'm trying at the hardest I can not to fire on this motherfucker, right? Like I know they know who I am too, because there was some talk in the general, by the way. It's like, oh, DG's here. So I know they were fucking with me because they probably knew that they were going to be recorded. I had talked to a few before and I said, you know, hey, just having a good time on MicroTech, having a good time with 3.8. So maybe they, you know, I don't know if they did or not. Maybe they knew I was recording and, you know, but I really wanted to light this rover up. Yeah, people are starting to realize it's becoming more sandboxy. Absolutely. And that's why I think like I had probably one of the best times playing in 3.8. I really did. Get 2 Animuses in, it won't be so funny, right, Vert? Exactly, dude. It took everything in me not to light up this rover. I'm just telling you, I wanted to so bad. You know, I don't feel bad firing back. Right? Now at this point, the rover had gone into the 890 and you didn't see that on the vid. And I could not move. It felt to me as if the thrusters, like something was wrong with the thrusters on the front portion of the ship. I couldn't thrust vertically at all. And so I was like, okay, this is an okay angle. I'm going to land it and I'm going to go out and I'm going to check out this 890 on foot here. And also I wanted to get outside because I saw that it was starting to snow. We're going to have to land down here. I can't move the ship. Let's see what we can see here. This is very exciting. And by the way, at any point in time, I felt like they were going to open up on me, which was also kind of like very tense for me. Like the moment that I felt in this whole confrontation, very, very memorable to me. I had such a good time like reporting this for you guys. I just was curious to see what was going to happen next. I really was. Oh, wow. We got weather, ladies and gentlemen. And that was my first impression of the weather coming out after that confrontation. This was the first time I actually experienced the weather like this. It definitely did not feel static to me. It was quite an experience. I literally felt it. I don't feel like I've ever had an experience in a game where I've had such a memorable confrontation as this one. It wasn't even that crazy. It was like a joyful, tense kind of vibe that I was getting. And then the weather on top of that, forget about it. Put a big smile on my face. This is great. This is awesome. in the middle of the night here in this weather. Right, Killian? You guys can see, we're seeing it on the helmet visor. We didn't really see it in the canopy, in the cockpit there, but and then now WCM's giving me another little tidbit here that I gotta try. No, I have not tried that yet, WCM, but I'm very excited. Yeah, what's really crazy, Donnie says, is again, you can hide an 890 jump. In that weather, you absolutely can, man. It blended in. The only thing that gave it away was the lights. You know, the only thing that gave away is the lights. But it was just such a great overall experience. You're definitely seeing it in the helmet visor. There and then they just and then the best part is after all that they just get up and jet. It's like they knew I was coming out, right? And they like they just get up and jet. I think that was the best part. It's lifting off here, leaving us all alone here after they shot missiles at us. Them bastards. I'll remember that, guys. Leaving us out here in the cold with the damage. You know what the worst part was that I had forgotten? After I was done filming and editing this, right? And I had posted it to YouTube. I was on my couch. I was watching some Netflix and I thought to myself, this thought stabbed me in my head. And I said, oh shit. I had bought an Animus missile launcher of my own with plenty of rounds for it. I should have equipped that motherfucker and started shooting up at them, dude. I had one. I could have equipped it and just started shooting back at them. That is the first thing I thought when I had the time to really think about this. I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Gutless. There they go.